Michigan, our government sludge-filled appropriation septic tank just keeps pouring out an endless supply of graft, corruption, and double dealing. Welcome to likely the least transparent and most corrupt state appropriation process in the entire nation, Michigan. Transparency and accountability are two words that mean more to me than talking point blather. To me, they actually mean something. But apparently to the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, the fiduciary acting as the transfer agent for the legislature on all these no-bid contracts, these words seem to mean very little. I've demanded answers from the MEDC about the lack of viable guardrails in their fiduciary process in overseeing the state grants. As Detroit News reporter Beth LeBlanc reported last week, a Detroit area businesswoman, big Democrat political donor, and former vice chair of the Democrat Party, Faye Baydoun, received a no-bid $20 million grant for her startup business signed into law by Gretchen Whitmer. It gets better. Turns out that the no-bid recipient, Baydoun, was appointed by the governor to the executive committee of the very MEDC that oversees her contract. So now we have the big double-dealing circle of corruption, a well-connected big Democrat donor appointed to the very board that oversees the taxpayer-funded projects, scooping in millions in trophy lard for herself. But wait, there's more. The Detroit News also unearthed the oh-so-important purchases that Baydoun needed to spend your hard-earned taxpayer dollars to fund. You paid for a $4,500 coffee maker and for an $11,000 first-class flight to enjoy the sights and sounds and soirees of Budapest, Hungary. A ridiculous $408,000 in salaries for herself and another employee just over a 3-month time period. Certainly none of this passes the taxpayer smell test. $20 million in big contract given to an individual who sits on the very board that oversees the contract, who then goes on a gigantic spending spree with taxpayer dollars and virtually no oversight. You see, when it's not your money, the Michigan government doesn't really care how it's spent. Well, I do, and taxpayer, you're getting fleeced. Just last year, we blew through a one-time $9 billion surplus crafted behind reclusive, cloistered doors in the largest ever $82 billion budget carved up, Zorro-like, in secret, in the dead of night for the benefit of a few Lansing power brokers. The current MEDC now looks like a dark money slush fund for the well-connected, who now use your hard-earned taxpayer dollars to live high off the hog and are a laughingstock in oversight that virtually no company and no legitimate organization in the entire nation would accept. The big elitist political donor party insider gets a $4,500 coffee maker, worldwide flights, and embarrassingly gigantic personal paydays, and you, the public, get the tab for this graft and corruption. Both Republicans and Democrats have dragged their feet on fixing this venile, shady, avaricious process. We should all be supporting more oversight and more transparency in the appropriation process. My bill to provide proper transparency in our appropriation process has been dead on arrival by the Democrat Government Operations Committee since I put it in way last month, May, and it's now sitting in the Democrat court. Michigander, I keep telling you and trying to warn you, to paraphrase George Carlin, taxpayer, it's one big club and you ain't in it. Thank you. I'd like my comments printed in the Journal.